Hey everybody, Phil here with Carcraft Classics, showing off some new inventory. I'm going to do a little walk around video of this beautiful 48 Willys. Please excuse the voice, got a little bit of laryngitis. But really quickly, Carcraft Classics is located here in Cumming, Georgia. It's our 5,000 square foot facility here. Brand new building, 321 Canton Road. Again, that's in Cumming, Georgia, 30040. Sell classic cars and trucks. We sell wheel and tire packages. We sell cool neon signs, and we even do some detail work for the classic cars. I can be reached at 770-317-1415 or via email at carcraftclassics@gmail.com. So let's get started here. Check out this cool 1948 Willys Jeepster. These vehicles were only made for a couple years. I believe it's 48, 49, and 50. This was just after the war, World War II, of course, when Jeeps were really made a name for themselves in the war times there overseas. Great vehicles. We all know the stories of how they performed in all terrains, helped the troops get the jobs done. And the Jeepster was Overland Willys' creation for the American market. They basically wanted to create something that looked kind of like a Jeep, but rode more smoothly, looked more like a car, and could be enjoyed here in America by the civilian population. So again, 48, 49, 50, they made these. I believe in 48 they made about 10,000, so they are very, very rare. So for those of you looking for them, I've got one here. Well, let's take a closer look. Man, this thing is so cool. Easily the most fun vehicle that I have in stock right now. Let's take a look under the hood here. So the only engine option I believe in 48 was this motor, and I believe this to be a numbers matching motor. This is a 2.2 liter, 65 horsepower, 4-cylinder that ran really, really well and made a name for itself back in the day. It was called the Go Devil. Super cool nickname. But anyway, it's a little 4-cylinder. And it's bolted up to a 3-speed manual transmission, and that transmission actually has the overdrive feature, which I believe was an option back then, as was these cool white wall tires, but we'll get to those in a moment. So again, looks like a Jeep, but had subtle differences, so that people looked at it as a Jeep, but again, performed better for the civilian population. Looked more like a car, and certainly was offered with a lot more options than the Jeep was back in the day. This one runs so smooth, it's incredible. For something this old. But anyway, we'll fire it up in a minute. Let me get this hood down for you guys. Hang on just a second. There we go. There we go. So again, she looks like a Jeep, drives like a car. Flat top fenders were a big thing for 48. Nice design cue. Lowered the stance a little bit. Put regular tires on the vehicle, and they called it the Jeepster. Talk about the paint real quick on this vehicle. It's got a few little nicks and scratches I noticed when we were detailing it, but nothing major. I would call this paint job a solid 7.5, 8 out of 10. I don't see any bubbling. I don't see any paint flaking off. I don't see any spots where there's bad body work. My detailer left a little bit of wax in here, but yeah, I mean, the paint is really in good shape. I don't see any real rust spots, any rot. Even the undercarriage is in very good shape. You can see the frame there. New set of shocks. And you might have noticed when I was showing you the undercarriage there that this vehicle has an independent front suspension, which was which was rare back in 1948, but this one had it. Probably because they presumed with all that horsepower you're going to be really whipping around the turns and things. Just kidding. So anyway, again, as I mentioned before, there was a few options you could get on the Jeepster that weren't available on the Jeep, of course, and white wall tires was one of them. And the Continental kit on the back, of course, we know back in the 40s and 50s, those were super popular on luxury vehicles. And that's kind of what Willys was after. I'm going to turn the Jeep into somewhat of a luxury vehicle. That Continental kit is cool. Check out on the bumper there, Willys Overland stamped into the steel bumper. Beautiful. Again, no blistering, no paint flaking off, no bad body, bodywork spots weren't smoothed out, nothing like that. The paint really shines well, and the body panels line up pretty well. You know, it is a 48, but it's not going to be perfect, but it's pretty good. Pretty darn good. This vehicle's really in good shape. I'd say it's a hair above what we've all grown to learn is driver quality. This is a little bit above that. It's not a nut and bolt frame off restoration, but they did quite a good job with this paint job. All the trim is there. Of course, this is a convertible. I've got the top down for the video, and that top that hides back here in the trunk area is just the top. The side windows for the front and the rear just slide right down into the body of the car. There's holes there, I'll show you. See there, that's for the rear windows, and they are sitting right over there. Just pop those out for the video, and I just wanted to show you guys I do have those. The top's in pretty good shape. I mean, I don't see any tears. It doesn't look brand new, but I don't see any tears or any kind of seams coming apart or anything like that. All right, let's take a look at the inside of this hot rod. Also in what I would call above driver quality shape. I want to laugh. See that lock on that glove box back in 48? That was an upgrade or an option. On the standard, on the Jeeps, all you got was the little button. You couldn't lock it. Got the little heater down below, little heater box. Gauges, believe it or not, are working. Found that out because when the vehicle arrived it had no fuel in it. Put a little fuel and she popped right up. The deluxe steering wheel, another option that you couldn't get on the Jeep, but you could get on the Jeepster. Somebody has added aftermarket directionals and they do work. We just checked those out a moment ago. Stereo is missing, but the dash has not been cut. So maybe as a fun project, the buyer can track down a stock stereo for a 48 Willys Jeepster and do the install themselves. Again, it's 3 on the tree, the transmission, 3-speed manual, and it's got that overdrive button there which works in 2nd or 3rd gear. Can be used to just lower the RPMs down a little bit in each of those gears by pulling that knob. Again, more options that were available on the Jeepster that weren't available on the Jeep, and that is a brand new carpet kit you see down there. Seats kind of utilitarian, nothing super fancy about them, but I believe they're waterproof. They're made for the weather. And that little side seat over to the passenger side folds down. I'll show you that in a minute. Got heavy duty vinyl here. Again, like the top, in very good shape. I mean, it shows its wear. It's not brand new, but as you can see, the seams aren't coming apart. Nothing's pulling apart. Nothing's in dire need of being replaced. Door panels look to be original. Black press board, it looks like. All right. Super, super cool 48 Willys Jeepster. Just putting around the parking lot with it earlier, and it's fun to drive. I don't know how many of you guys out there know how to drive a 3 on a tree. I'm sure plenty of you, but I know the younger crowd doesn't know what that is, but shifts real smooth. Clutch is fine. Acceleration is there. Speaking of driving, let's fire this thing up. Cool little fender protector there. So, interesting thing about this vehicle, you know, back in the 40s, you could, you know, the way you started the vehicle, I don't know if you can see that on the video. You turn the key to the on position, all right, and then you went down here and pressed on that little starter button with your foot. There she goes. She fires right up. And you can see the gauges moving. Now that the vehicle's running, reading what they're supposed to read. You can see the amperage. And this is still 6 volt. We've got the fuel gauge. Got the speedo. Mileage reads 20,315. Hopefully you can see that in the video. I know it's a little sunny. There you go. Temp gauge. Holds decent oil pressure in that little 4-banger. Let's take a little quick ride around the parking lot. I can't resist. I just can't. Put it down into first gear. Manual transmission. Look at this sucker go. Now this is a fun vehicle. I think I need to get one of these. All right. Reverse. And there we go. I think that's the heater fan making a little bit of a squeaky noise. These old vehicles all have their little quirks, all the little noises that can you know, be addressed and fixed, but I'll say it till the day I die. These old vehicles are so much more fun to drive and enjoy than the new stuff. But anyway, I don't want to hear me babbling about all that. So there she is, 1948 Jeepster. I'm not sure what color it is the official name, but it's kind of like a subdued yellow. It's like a soft yellow with the black trim. By the way, all the trim is there around the windows. Let's get that little vent window open. Make sure that's working. There we go. Boom. So I know there's a lot of Willys fans out there. I know there's Jeepster fans out there. So just know we've got a beautiful one here at Carcraft Classics. The asking price for this vehicle, and I know that these vehicles come anywhere from, you know, $5,000 all the way up to $50,000 depending on condition. And I'd say, again, this one's above average. So it's going to carry an above average price tag, and I think $23,900 is a fair asking price for this vehicle. But we are entertaining reasonable offers. So just give me a call if you'd like. Again, my number is 770-317-1415. 770-317-1415. My name is Phil with Carcraft Classics. I can also be reached via email at carcraftclassics@gmail.com. Keep in mind that we can help with professional shipping. So if you're, you know, not here in Georgia and you cannot come down and pick the vehicle up, we can ship it right to your door. We only use insured shippers. Also, we can help with financing. We've partnered with JJ Best Bank. They specialize in financing classic vehicles. They give you a free inspection report on the vehicle as well if you can't make it down and take a look yourself. Shipping, financing, and even customization. If there's something you wanted to do with this vehicle, add to it, change the wheels, whatever you'd like to do, let me know. We can handle most of that stuff right here in-house. So again, the asking price is $23,900. Give me a holler or shoot me an email if you want to schedule a test drive, or you have any questions, or you'd like to make an offer. Feel free to contact me. Thank you so much for watching. And down in the comment section, I will put a link to our website where there'll be photographs, probably 50 some odd photographs of this vehicle, and details on the build. Alrighty, thank you so much. God bless America.